Emotions don't usually end when they end. Something continues. Not always the feeling itself, but something close to it. A kind of echo. A moment happens, something is felt, and even after the intensity fades, there's still a trace. A tone that stays in the background. A subtle pull back toward what just happened. A feeling that hasn't fully left. And it doesn't seem unusual. It feels like emotions naturally linger. Like they're supposed to take time to fade. Like they leave something behind. But if you look closely, the original emotion often doesn't last very long. It rises. It's felt. And then it begins to move. What continues isn't always the emotion itself. It's the continuation of it. Picked up through thought. Revisited through memory. Sustained just enough to keep it present. A feeling comes up, and then it's thought about. Not intensely, just lightly. Just enough to keep it active. And that creates the echo. Something that feels like the emotion is still there. But really, it's being kept there. And this happens with everything. Frustration, excitement, sadness, relief. Even something simple like a brief irritation can turn into something that follows you. Not because it was strong, but because it was continued. And once it continues, it overlaps with what comes next. You're in a new moment, but part of the previous one is still there, shaping the tone, coloring the experience. And it feels like continuity. Like emotions naturally flow from one moment into another. But every once in a while, something different happens. An emotion comes up, and it ends. Completely. Not suppressed. Not pushed away. Just finished. And there's no echo. No background trace. No quiet continuation of it. It was there, and now it's not. And what's left is clear. Not empty. Just unaffected. And that can feel unfamiliar. Because without that echo, there's nothing carrying forward. No emotional residue shaping what comes next. No subtle influence from something that already passed. It's just this moment, untouched, and the next one, also untouched. And what's interesting is that this doesn't come from controlling emotion. It doesn't come from trying to let feelings go faster. It's not about managing your internal state. It's what happens when nothing is holding the emotion in place to begin with. Because if nothing is holding it, there's nothing to echo. It ends naturally. A feeling rises and falls. The body responds and resets. The moment moves and completes. There's no continuation unless something adds one. And that addition is subtle. It doesn't always look like effort. Sometimes it looks like harmless reflection. Sometimes it looks like awareness. Sometimes it looks like checking in with how you feel. But even that can extend what didn't need to continue. And when that extension isn't there, something becomes clear. Emotions are brief. They're not meant to last. They're not meant to define the tone of your day. They don't need to carry into the next moment. They just move. And when they're allowed to move without interference, they don't leave anything behind. No buildup, no accumulation, no emotional weight, just a constant resetting, moment by moment. And that changes how life feels. Because without emotional echoes, there's no layering of experience. Nothing stacking, nothing overlapping. Each moment stands on its own. And what's here now isn't influenced by what was just here. It's just here, fresh, not in a dramatic way, just in a quiet, simple way. And you might notice it in small things. Feeling something strongly, and then realizing it's completely gone a minute later. Not because you did anything, but because nothing continued it. Or moving through your day without a consistent emotional tone. No background mood following you. Just whatever is happening as it happens. It's subtle, but it removes a lot. A lot of weight, a lot of confusion, a lot of unnecessary continuation. Because emotions don't actually need to echo. They don't need to linger. They don't need to shape what comes next. They can simply happen and end. And when they do, there's nothing left behind. Nothing carrying forward. Nothing shaping the next moment. Just a clean space for whatever comes next. If this resonates, you don't have to do anything with it. But if you want to keep exploring this, you can stay with the channel.